Welcome back everyone, it's Charlie. This is going to be my new Spider-Man 3 Marvel video and an update on all the cancelled and delayed Marvel movies that have changed in the last couple of weeks. We started with a couple movies that have been cancelled and delayed, now there's a bunch more. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the Marvel videos. We're doing an Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave all your theories about Sinister Six and Spider-Man 3 on the video. So just going down the list, starting with number 5. Tom Holland's Spider-Man 3 was originally going to be filming in the middle of July this year. It was on the same basic schedule as Spider-Man Far From Home. So if you remember when I was posting videos about that, originally it would have been about the same this year. The working title is Serenity Now. It's a big Seinfeld Easter egg. I've already done a video about that, so I'll post a link at the end of the video. Even though everyone's posting the Spider-Man work from home memes, I still love the title Spider-Man Home Run if we're keeping home in the title of Spider-Man 3. Marvel had just announced the creatives that it had hired to film the movie, and Tom Holland was speaking about the story of the movie recently. I'll talk about that in a second too. But then the cinematographer that they just hired, Seamus McGarvey, revealed that Spider-Man 3, too, had just become a casualty of the virus delays that are affecting pretty much every movie and TV series that are trying to film right now through the summer. Fun fact too, bringing this back around to the classic MCU Marvel Infinity Saga movies, he's worked on a bunch of other MCU movies. Seamus McGarvey was the DP on Joss Whedon's first Avengers movie, and he filmed that first Thor post-credit scene, which was the special Tesseract scene in Nick Fury's base when Eric Selvig goes to study it before Loki returns looking none the worse for wear.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
It's been so long since I've watched that scene, but that was basically meant to be the first big Avengers teaser. So it's always cool to see notable people show up all over different MCU movies in front of and behind the camera. Speaking of which, number 4, Sam Raimi, we can't forget that even though Spider-Man 3 might be the next big delayed Marvel movie, it's also going to be filming at the same time the director of the other Spider-Man 3 movie is filming Doctor Strange 2, Multiverse of Madness. I haven't talked about Doctor Strange 2 since they released the Wandavision trailer, mostly because so much of Wandavision is going to set up Doctor Strange 2, and Marvel's already told us a lot about what they're doing with her character and why she's teaming up with Doctor Strange. Even though I do love to see all the theories that she's secretly the villain of Doctor Strange 2, not one of the heroes. Without demonizing her character or anything like that, she's dealing with the grief of losing Vision and obviously experiencing this alternate life with him, jumping across space-time and alternate realities, and her chaos magic is going to start blossoming. As Doctor Strange so aptly told Iron Man, "I protect your reality, douchebag." He protects our reality from threats from other dimensions.
I'm going to allow that.
So WandaVision and Scarlet Witch probably accidentally create that threat from another dimension, but that doesn't necessarily make her the villain of Doctor Strange 2. Number 3, all the new cancelled and delayed Marvel movies. So since they cancelled the Black Widow release date, here's everything that's changed with the other big Marvel movies, and everything has changed quite a bit. Marvel hasn't said when Black Widow or New Mutants are going to be released. I know a lot of people are hoping for video on demand. New Mutants is probably the only movie that they would consider dropping video on demand. But they're done, they're good to go. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings also just got delayed. Originally, it was supposed to come out in the middle of February next year. They've been away from filming for so long that there's no way they're going to make that release date, so Shang-Chi is probably going to come out in March next year. Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness was the next big Marvel movie that took a hit. Mr. Spider-Man, Sam Raimi himself, was supposed to start filming that movie in May. And if the July movies that are filming then have already been delayed, you can bet that the ones that were filming in May are going to be delayed too. Originally, Doctor Strange 2 was supposed to come out at the beginning of May 2021. Now that's probably going to be the end of May or early June, which isn't that big of a deal, just a couple weeks delay. They also just had to cut the Loki series short. They were in the middle of filming. That was supposed to come out around March next year and air for 6 weeks right before Doctor Strange 2 started. Now Loki is probably going to come out sometime in April. Marvel still claims that Falcon and Winter Soldier and Wandavision were mostly done filming their episodes, and they're still on track to release those when they originally planned to. Falcon and Winter Soldier was supposed to start in August. Wandavision is still supposed to start in December. Both of those series are 6 episodes. Thor 4, Love and Thunder, and the Hawkeye series weren't supposed to start filming till the end of this year, so they're probably safe mostly, even though Jeremy Renner kinda made it seem like Hawkeye had been delayed. Moon Knight and She-Hulk weren't supposed to start filming till after Hawkeye, so they're also probably mostly safe. Ant-Man 3 wasn't going to start filming till January next year. We learned that from Michael Douglas. Thank you very much for leaking that. It's probably totally safe. And then Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is the other big confirmed movie, wasn't going to start filming till after Suicide Squad 2 comes out in theaters, which means that they wouldn't start filming till the end of next year, so they're totally safe. And bringing up the rear, Deadpool himself, Deadpool 3 is in development, which just means that the writers and Ryan Reynolds are trying to figure out what the story is going to be. They can totally do that from their homes in their pajamas, so even though we only have rumors that it's going to be released during 2022, it will not be delayed.
I'm really busy doing some stuff, and if I... Yeah, don't give him too much attention. That's why I can't be there. There'll be sun. Happy birthday. Have a great night.
Let the dogs out.
Woo!
Who let them out? No one knows. No one ever solved that mystery.
All right.
Ugh.
Right now, the rumor is Deadpool 3 will be October 2022, but if there's any more information about that, I'll totally do a new Deadpool video. There was a secret Spider-Man spin-off movie that Sony put on the schedule. They're just calling it their Untitled Spider-Man spin-off movie. We don't know what it's going to be, but that's also been delayed too. But number 2, there are rumors right now that Kraven really is the main villain of Spider-Man 3. I've done a couple Spider-Man 3 videos talking about the director and how much time he spent talking about the Kraven character inside a Spider-Man movie and how much the Kraven character has history within the MCU. Originally, he was going to be the villain of the first Black Panther movie. But there's been a rumor about the plot recently that they will do a version of MCU Kraven's Last Hunt. Take it with a grain of salt, but it does sound like they're trying to spend more time in Spider-Man 3 slowly setting up more Sinister Six stuff. And as part of that, there will be a big Sinister Six figure pulling the strings, orchestrating all these events against Spider-Man.
I have taken the liberty of arranging some buyers for your lab. Starting bid, $1 billion. My buyers don't take no for an answer. So we are either in business together, or we aren't in business together.
And number 1 also as part of these rumors, people think that it's supposed to be the MCU version of Norman Osborn. There have been a lot of Easter eggs in the MCU movies so far that could be Norman Osborn Easter eggs, like the mysterious quote-unquote benefactor that Sonny Burch works for with billions of dollars to spend like it's pocket change. For a while, it did seem like Marvel was trying to set up a big foil for Tony Stark, an evil version of Tony Stark, and then they spent all of Spider-Man Far From Home talking about the legacy of Iron Man. Who would take up the legacy? Mysterio was trying to usurp that from Spider-Man. Most of us as fans assumed that Spider-Man would be the one to assume the mantle of Tony Stark, even though he'd never be Iron Man, he'd always be Spider-Man. It's just that you need to have that single figure to rally around, a big Avengers-level figure. But if you remember the Dark Reign storyline from the comics, that's sort of the dark twist on that concept. Norman Osborn usurping what you would consider Tony Stark's place in the MCU. Take it with a grain of salt, we don't know if the rumors are true, but it would be cool to see a new MCU version of Norman Osborn at some point, even though if they're doing this as part of their Sinister Six plans, Norman Osborn's Green Goblin wasn't a founding member of the Sinister Six in the comics. Dr. Octopus was originally the first person to put the team together, so hopefully we'll see MCU Dr. Octopus at some point. Recently, I also did a video about how Sony claims that they're planning on signing a new sharing deal for Spider-Man to keep him in the MCU after their current deal is done. That'll cover Spider-Man 4, which won't come out till July 2023, so it's very possible that Spider-Man 4 could be that Sinister Six movie. So there've been a bunch of movies that have been delayed, but it's not all bad news. There's still a lot of cool stuff going on, and there will still be some movies that will come later this year. Marvel's Eternals is still on the schedule for November. They haven't changed that yet. We still have all the Disney Plus stuff, The Mandalorian Season 2, Wandavision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I will do a new video when they finally reveal what they're going to do with the Black Widow movie. I think we all kind of expect them to release New Mutants video on demand, just because no one was expecting that movie to make a ton of money anyway. But everyone post all your theories in the comments below. Do you want them to do a new MCU version of Norman Osborn at some point? Congratulations Impulse, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Everyone click here for that brand new Venom 2 video, and click here for my other brand new Spider-Man 3 Marvel video. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.